So our next topic is industrial production of penicillin using Penicillium chrysogenum. So these are all the contents of this particular topic. So we all know what is penicillin. Penicillin is a first antibiotic which was found by Alexander Fleming, and it had its maximum usage in World War II, and it gave a Nobel Prize. It made the owner achieve a Nobel Prize for medicine in 1945, and thus this penicillin is called as a miracle drug, as it is a first ever antibiotic which was found. So what is penicillin? Penicillin is a naturally occurring antibiotic being produced by a fungus called as penicillin. The genus is penicillin, and this is not a single compound. It is a closely related compounds. It is a group of closely related compounds which are called in the name of penicillin. For example, you all know the compounds, the antibiotic compounds such as amoxicillin, ampicillin, phenoxymethyl penicillin. So these are the derivatives of penicillin. So these can also be called as penicillin. There are around 50 penicillin drugs which are the we can call it as derivatives of penicillin. So what is the history of this penicillin? You all very well know about this. In 1928, Scottish biologist Alexander Fleming discovered this penicillin, where when he was growing a pure culture of Staphylococcus aureus, there was a contaminant which destroyed this bacteria, which produced a zone of inhibition. You can see here in the second picture there is a zone of inhibition, clear, very nice zone of inhibition being produced by this mold here. You can see white mold which is inhibiting the growth of other bacteria, the bacteria which is called as Staphylococcus. So he isolated this organism which belonged to the Penicillium family, right? So he named this mold as mold because he named this as mold because grew in the form of mat. So he named it as mold, and it was called as Penicillium notatum. And later, in nowadays, it is named as Penicillium chrysogenum. So at first, it was very difficult to convince people about this usage of penicillin. So he told that the compound being produced by some of the Penicillium species which can inhibit the bacteria, so we can get rid of this bacterial infection in human body. So it was very difficult to purify. Purification is very important for any compound. So it was very difficult for it to purify this penicillin. However, in 1939, Howard Florey and Ernest Chain managed to purify this penicillin in the powdered form. So in 1941, they successfully treated a man with the bacterial infection. And in 1943, they produced penicillin on a large scale. And this helped to treat all the casualties in World War II. So this is the general structure of penicillin, where it has three groups basically: acyl group, side chain, beta-lactam ring, thiazolidin ring. So this beta-lactam and thiazolidin is common in all group of penicillins, but this acyl group, you can see here, it has a R group here. This R group can vary from one derivative from the other. So in amoxicillin, the R group is different. In ampicillin, R group is different. So depending on the R group, different derivatives of penicillins are produced. So what is this beta-lactam? Beta-lactam is a derivative of the amino acid cysteine and valine. So the combination of this cysteine and valine makes this beta-lactam ring. So this is the explanation of the last slide. As I told you, the nature of this acyl group, it should be acyl group that produces the properties of different types of penicillin, where R group varies here in the acyl group. It can be methyl group, that is CH3, or any other ethyl group or any other group. Depending on the R group, different types of penicillins are produced. So what is the mechanism of penicillin? So what is the mechanism of action of penicillin? So penicillin basically inhibits the synthesis of peptidoglycan in the cell walls. Cell walls of what? Cell walls of the bacteria. So you have to see what is the usage of antibiotics. Antibiotics should kill the bacteria, right? How does it kill the bacteria? The outer layer of the cell wall, the outer layer of the bacteria is the cell wall. What is cell wall made up of? Peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan is the polymer made of sugar and amino acid, forming a mesh kind of layer which protects the bacterial inner content of the bacteria. So this beta-lactam of penicillin binds to the enzyme transpeptidase that is there on the peptidoglycan of the cell wall of the bacteria. This enzyme is inhibited. The transpeptidase enzyme is inhibited, and thus this cell wall is weakened. Cell wall of the bacteria is weakened, causing the osmotic imbalance in the cell. Finally, the bacterial cell is going to die. And you can ask me why it is not, it doesn't act on the human cells. As human cells do not have the cell wall which is made up of peptidoglycan, penicillin do not affect the, as you know that mechanism of action is the action on the peptidoglycan. So the peptidoglycan will not be there in human cell, thus penicillin does not affect the human cell. So this is a pictorial representation of action of penicillin, where penicillin produces the penicillium fungi produces penicillin, the cell wall inhibitors, in the growth medium, and this is the bacterial cell wall where it binds to the outer cell wall of the bacteria, and finally the bacterial cell wall is opened up to produce this spiroplast. So what is a spiroplast? Spiroplast is the stage at which no cell wall is there. Okay, so finally the bacteria tries to remain like that, but that is not possible. After some time this scleroplast disintegrates, and finally the cell will die. So what is spectrum activity of penicillin? This is effective against gram-positive bacteria which have thick peptidoglycan, as its action is like to degrade the penicillin, the peptidoglycan. Some penicillins like amoxicillin are effective against gram-negative bacteria also, except Pseudomonas aeruginosa. So this is the classification of penicillin based on the ability of the penicillin, the types of penicillin to kill the bacteria, and how effective it is in doing so. So the classification is natural penicillin, penicillinase resistant penicillins, aminopenicillins, extended spectrum penicillin. Natural penicillin is without any change in the penicillin which is produced by the fungus, but penicillinase resistance is all these aminopenicillin, penicillinase, and extended spectrum activity is a change in the natural penicillin which is produced, the derivatives of the natural penicillin. Penicillinase resistance is as some of the bacteria produces the penicillinase enzyme. So due to the evolution, this penicillinase enzyme would have been produced by the bacteria. So some of the penicillin antibiotics are there which are resistant to this penicillinase enzyme, which can inhibit the penicillins. So this is resistant to that, and aminopenicillins are the ones which has a broader spectrum when compared to the natural penicillin. Extended spectrum penicillins are the combination of different derivative of penicillin, so that the spectrum activity is wide when compared to all the other groups of penicillins. So coming to the production of penicillin. So you all know the fungus Penicillium notatum or Penicillium chrysogenum produces penicillin. So we need fermenters for this to obtain the penicillin from this fungus. So all these controlled condition and homogeneous environment, optimized condition which are cost effective and safe can be used, and for the reactor, the design of the reactor should be specific, and number of important parameters should be optimized so that we can obtain a maximum yield of penicillin. So this is typical stir tank fermenter can be used in the So as you all know, this penicillin is an aerobic organism. The well oxygen supply has to be maintained and the pH has to be maintained at 6.5, maintaining the acid-base reservoir, and strain stability. The careful strain maintenance has to be done prior to the fermentation, and biomass doubling is 6 hours. Here biomass will double in 6 hours. So the provisions must be made to change the medium every 6 hours of its fermentation. So this is the media formulation of the for the production of penicillin, that is pH 6.4 as 5, as I already told you. Temperature should be 20-24. Oxygen, nitrogen, and nitrogen is usually Constip liquor is used here. Glucose 1%, ethanol, phenylacetic acid, probenecid, lactose, calcium carbonate, sodium hydrogen phosphate. The anti-foaming here is used, that is vegetable oil can be used as anti-foaming agent. So microorganisms require carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and sulfur for its cell growth and maintenance, as you all know. But other than this, they require the trace elements such as copper, manganese and cobalt, as they act as some cofactors for the enzyme. So this penicillin requires all these cofactors for its growth, and the growth factors such as vitamins and amino acids can be used. Here, as you all know, a very important factor here, penicillin produced by Penicillium chrysogenum is not a primary metabolite. It is a secondary metabolite being produced by Penicillium chrysogenum. So you all know what is primary metabolite and secondary metabolite. Primary metabolite is produced by in the exponential phase. Secondary metabolite is produced in the stationary phase. So as the organism should produce the penicillin, so it should be left in the stationary phase for some time. So, and some of the precursors which are used for this obtaining the penicillin is purine, pyrimidine bases or organic acids can be used as precursor for the growth of penicillium and to obtain the penicillin from this fungus. So coming to the medium used for Constip liquor, we have already discussed the composition of the medium. So the major medium composition is which contain Constip liquor and glucose. So these are the two important critical parameters, critical carbon source and nitrogen source, which helps in the synthesis of penicillin. So the medium also contains salts like magnesium sulfate, potassium phosphate, sodium nitrates for more growth of the biomass. So this medium sterilization is at high heat, high pressure, but lesser timing. So this autoclaving can be done for the fermentation, where normal the fermentation parameters, that is 121 degrees Celsius for 30 psi or 15 lbs pressure. But for media sterilization, a high temperature and a shorter time, for a shorter time if it is kept, the degradation of certain components of the media will not happen, so that the sterilization is proper as well as the components will not be degraded. So the high temperature can be maintained for a shorter period of time. This is ideal for the media sterilization. So this is the fed batch mode of fermentation here. You all know what is fed batch mode. Fed batch mode is keeping a component as a limiting factor. Limiting factor is which is very much necessary for a fermentation to happen. but at the higher, if it is given at the higher concentration, it will be toxic for the microorganism. So thus here glucose is considered as the limiting factor here. So at the beginning this glucose cannot be added in a higher amounts, so this glucose can be added in batch wise. So fed batch culture is the keeping one limiting factor, that is anything, it can be the glucose, that is the carbon source or nitrogen source, can be kept as a limiting factor, and it can be added at certain time intervals so that it will not be toxic for a microorganism to produce a definite compound. So here glucose can inhibit the penicillin production, so glucose is added in lower concentration at the beginning, then the concentration may increase as the biomass production increases. And the fermentation conditions, as I've already told you, the temperature is 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, which is kept, then the pH is maintained at 6.5, and the pressure here is much higher when compared to the atmospheric pressure, that is the pressure is 1.02 atmospheric units, and at this pressure you can also note that the contaminant from the external air will not be entering the fermentation medium. So you all know that it is necessary to mix the culture evenly. So these impellers can be used for the agitation process. Here 200 rpm rotations per minute is maintained to mix the medium in a proper even manner. So you all know the importance of preparation of seed culture. The spore should not be at the edge of its growth cycle. It should be in an active phase. Here, though it is, the penicillin is a secondary metabolite, the primary metabolite production should happen to increase the production of the secondary metabolite. Thus, your organism which you are going to inoculate into the media should be in the log phase, the exponential phase. Finally, after it reaches the stationary phase, the penicillin is produced by the organism. So thus you have to maintain a proper to prepare the seed culture is very important here, and the maintenance of the other parameters such as pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen concentration is very important, along with the aeration and agitation. So after about 40 hours, the penicillium would have reached its stationary phase where it starts producing the penicillin. So after about 7 days, the growth is completed. From 3rd day to the 7th day, the penicillin is constantly produced by the fungus, and the indication of the penicillin is the growth, the end of the penicillin production is indicated by the rise in the pH. pH rises to 8, and thus you can know that the organism has stopped the production of penicillin, so that this penicillin can be harvested from the broth. So after fermentation, the first step would be separation of the biomass from the rest of the liquid medium, which is the first step in downstream processing. So here the desired compound is penicillin, and the filtration process is the rotary vacuum filter. Other methods can also be used. Here the rotary vacuum filter is used to separate the biomass from the rest of the liquid medium. So how does it happen? See this diagram here, picture of the rotary vacuum evaporator, where it has a drum which is rotating here. This drum has a outer covering of cotton or the cloth, the thin cloth, which attracts the biomass inside the liquid medium. So as it rotates in the liquid medium here, it attracts all the biomass, and it can be separated, and finally this liquid medium, which is devoid of any biomass, can be used for further purification process. The first step in the purification process, as soon as the medium which is devoid of the devoid of the biomass happens, the non-oxidizing agent, that is phosphoric acid, is added to the medium. So this phosphoric acid decreases the pH from 8 to 6.5. So you know, at the end of the fermentation process, the pH would have reached to 8 as an indicator, um, as it indicates the end of the fermentation process. So but this activity of penicillin is less at pH 8, and which can be degraded also at pH 8. Thus it is very important to reduce the pH from 8 to 6.5, which is done by the addition of phosphoric acid. So after the filtration process, the centrifugation process is also done for additional removal of the waste product from the waste solid from the liquid component. So this is usually the disc centrifugation here is used, and here supernatant will then be further used for the downstream processing, where the pellet which is formed here will be discarded. So here the addition of the solvent is done for the extraction of penicillin. So you all know one of the process of extraction of the compound, desired compound, would be the solvent extraction. So here organic solvents such as amyl acetate or butyl acetate can be used to dissolve the penicillin present in the filtrate. So the filtrate will have water in it. The penicillin would have dissolved in water. So after the addition of this butyl acetate or amyl acetate to the liquid medium, where the pH is already reduced, this butyl acetate or amyl acetate will attract the penicillin present in the water medium. So the penicillin moves from water medium to this butyl acetate medium. So I have already explained you the evaporation of organic solvents would be very fast when compared to the water medium. Thus the moving of this penicillin from water medium to organic acid, that is butyl acetate or amyl acetate medium, is very important here. So for the extraction of penicillin, only one extraction of organic solvent will not be enough. A series of organic solvents is used here to extract the penicillin, which can be obtained in a pure form. So the purity of the penicillin product is based on the usage of this organic solvents. So firstly, the acetate solution. Acetate solution is the amyl acetate or butyl acetate, which we have explained in the last slide. So in which the penicillin is being dissolved, is first mixed with phosphate buffer, which is followed by chloroform, and then again it is mixed in phosphate buffer, and finally it is mixed in ether solution. So finally this ether will have your penicillin at higher concentration. And the last step of the extraction of penicillin is addition of sodium bicarbonate to the ether solution to obtain a penicillin sodium salt. And finally this salt can be obtained by evaporation, and it can be stored at room temperature. Stable powder of the penicillin can be stored at room temperature. So this is the next round of extraction protocol, where batch extraction protocol and basket centrifugation is given. The pictures of these two are given here, where penicillin sodium salt is obtained from the liquid material, that is ether, by basket centrifugation. After you mix the ether with the sodium bicarbonate, you can use this basket centrifugation to obtain the solids in the as a pellet, and finally it can be again evaporated and used as a stable penicillium product. So this is the as the last step of downstream processing. It is very much necessary to remove the remaining moisture content in the powdered penicillium salt or any other desired product you want. Thus it is necessary to remove the remaining moisture. So drying is one method where you can obtain 100% moisture free products. Here fluid bed drying is used here, where hot gas is pumped from the base of the chamber containing the powdered salt inside the vacuum chamber. So this is the vacuum chamber in which the penicillium salt is kept here. From the down you can pass the hot gas where the any of the moisture, if it is there, is dried, and finally the much dried form of penicillin salt can be obtained. So storage of the penicillin is done in containers where it is completely devoid of any moisture. This white penicillium sodium salt you can see here, and which is called as penicillin G. The other forms, this penicillin G can be chemically or enzymatically modified. After you make this sodium salt, this can be chemically or enzymatically modified to obtain the different types of penicillins. You know, as I've already explained you, there are different types of penicillins like amoxicillin, ampicillin, penicillium O, penicillium V. So modification would be required after the final obtaining of this final sodium salt. So this is the flow chart which I have already explained, the different process of obtaining the penicillin product. So you can refer this flow chart where the fed batch fermentation process is carried out. The starter culture penicillium with a medium concentration, medium components as constip liquor, lactose, or here glucose can be mentioned. Glucose actually is used, and finally your downstream processing can be done to obtain the penicillin in a sodium salt, as a sodium salt. So coming to the yield of the penicillin which is produced, the yield, the penicillin produced by Penicillium chrysogenum can be different based on different strains. So different strains of Penicillium chrysogenum produces different amount of penicillin. So it is important to obtain the increased yield. So what are all the different methods to obtain the increase in yield? Strain improvement methods can be done, where selection of strains can be done, mutation or sexual reproduction can be done as the method of strain improvement, and optimization. The first point here is addition of corn syrup, where the more amount of corn syrup if you add to the medium in fed batch process can increase the formation of the biomass, thus the product also will be increased. So this is the process of optimization of the media, where the increased yield of the product can be done. So this is the one of the method of improving the yield of the penicillin. So here the selection of strain can be done. Selection of the strain of Penicillium chrysogenum based on its ability to produce a zone of inhibition against the bacteria. So this can be done in laboratory, where different strains of Penicillium can be done. Penicillium chrysogenum can be obtained, and on the Petri plates this can be grown along with the bacteria. So as this antibiotic is produced, the zone of inhibition can be obtained here. You can see here in the picture, where the zone of inhibition is seen here, where penicillin is produced by the penicillium around, and the zone of inhibition is producing around the bacteria here. As the zone of inhibition is more, the amount of antibiotic, that is penicillin, produced is more by the fungus. So depending on the more zone of inhibition, you can assume that the organism is producing more of penicillin. Thus it can be selected for the fermentation process to obtain more yield of penicillin. So you all know what is mutation, so I need not explain more about mutation. Here several strains of Penicillium chrysogenum can be obtained here, and finally it can be mutated using the chemical mutant, that is ethyl methane sulfonate, EMS, and ultraviolet rays can also be used as a mutant, or combination of this EMS and ultraviolet rays can also be used as mutagens to obtain a best strain of penicillin which produces more amount of penicillin. The strains are exposed to the mutagen at different intensities as well as proportions of this mutants, and the time of exposure can also be varied, and depending on this trial and error method, this mutation and its selection can be done. And finally, in each step, the conidia are maintained at, on silica gel at 4 degree, and finally this can be used to further select the strain and see the amount of desired compound which is being produced, that is penicillin being produced by the organism at different stage of mutation. So this one of the other method of strain improvement is sexual reproduction. Earlier it was assumed that penicillium only produces asexually like other fungus, but this fungus belongs to the family Ascomycetes. So this also they reproduces sexually by the formation of ascus, which belongs to the family Ascomycetes. This fungus belongs to the family Ascomycetes. Thus it produces a special spores called ascus. That is not important here anyway. But as different penicillium strains will have different genes producing different yield of penicillin, so this progenies can be mixed and mated together, and new properties can be obtained at molecular level, so that the organism produces more of penicillin. The yield of the penicillin can be increased by sexual reproduction. Also, special environmental conditions such as the organism can be kept under dark, oxygen deprived condition with the addition of special vitamin that is biotin, so that the increase in yield can be obtained by this process also. And recombinant DNA technology is one of the method. rDNA technology already you know. This can be done to increase the copy number of the genes. So as the penicillin producing gene can be taken, and it can be using rDNA technology, you can put this penicillin producing gene in more number in the penicillin chrysogenome, and thus as the genes are more, the yield is also more. So that this recombinant DNA technology is another method to improve the yield of penicillin. So the naturally obtained penicillin is penicillin G, which is called as penicillin G. As I already told you, this penicillin G can be modified to obtain different types of penicillin. So enzymatically it can be modified using penicillin G acylase, which is a hydrolytic enzyme, which acts on the side chain of penicillin G to produce different to produce beta lactam and different R group in the side chain of the penicillin, the acyl group, which is modified to obtain the semisynthetic penicillin such as amphoxicillin or amoxicillin. Thank you, students. If you have any doubts, please get back to me.